So this is segment 2 of the PowerPoint, just a couple of slides again. And I do apologize, my neighbor is mowing his lawn. I don't know if you're going to hear that, but that also means that my dog, or both dogs, will start barking, and I'll try to pause if it gets too noisy. And secondly, I want to thank Miss Moore. I'm actually using her PowerPoint that she shared with the English 11 teachers. So it's a great PowerPoint. It has a lot of good links. I'm adding a few things to it, but mostly it is her work. So I do appreciate that, and kudos to Ms. Moore for sharing her work. But we did talk about this at the beginning of the year. We talked about the origin of the American dream by a writer, and he coined the term the American Dream in 1931, but it was certainly not a new idea. In fact, we're going to, in the next slide, talk about the allusions to the city upon the hill, which I don't think we did talk about at the beginning of the year. But he had written, this author, that the dream of a land in which life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with the opportunity for each according to ability or achievement. So basically, if your life should be on par with what you are able to earn or achieve. Now, that has certainly changed over the years, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. But also, with the American Revolution, as we'll see in the next couple of slides, we really did start to get a sense of this idea specific to the American experience. So, the American Revolution, the colonists had an idea of America as a city on the hill, and that traces back to, it has classical allusions to Pericles in ancient Greece. We're going to watch an interpretation, a creative interpretation of the city on the hill, in a, I think, 1990s film with Al Pacino, who you might recognize. There's a very young John Cusack in it as well, if those of you who are movie buffs might recognize him. But Pericles, according to the history written by, and this I'm going back to World One history, Thucydides, I believe, had written about Pericles giving a funeral oration to the soldiers who were fighting in the Peloponnesian War. My history buffs will have to double check on this. But he, in that speech, he had talked about how Athens was a golden city, that Athens, the birth of democracy and the celebration of arts, Athens became this ideal for every other neighboring city-state to admire and work to achieve. So we're going to pause here again and watch the snippet from the film City Hall, and you will be able to watch a more modern definition and use of this idea of city on the hill, which is so important to the American dream.